Definitely not passable by cars. The main cars we've seen pass through at this point, you just saw one go by. Emergency response vehicles indicating that there are situations that they do plan to respond to today. While the rain has let up, you mentioned a good point that the next threat that people and officials have warned people about is that threat of storm surge that comes right after. I can tell you here at the hotel where we are staying, this is the first day we've lost power, and that is a number we've seen start to grow by the thousand and is now in the millions statewide, and that is an issue that is going to continue to plague officials. But here in Miami, what would ordinarily be a very busy downtown on a Sunday afternoon is desolate, a ghost town, and we've even seen roofs come off some of the restaurants here as well. So Irma, while it did not the eye as well did not come directly into where we are standing right now, the threat and the effects of Irma were felt very, very strongly here.
All right, Omar, stay safe. Stay in touch. Let me know when I need to come back to you. Let's get to Bill Weir. He was in Key Largo. He is now driving north to surveil the situation. And Bill, we're here in Naples, and we are getting beaten up by the backside of Irma.
Man, I feel you, brother. I've been there. We did it this morning, and now we're trying to see what's left as Irma blows town. We are in Key Largo, actually heading south. And here's a look at this pile of flotsam here in the middle of US 1, the overseas highway. Looks like there's some major appliances in there. That looks like a freezer. There's a jet ski, all kinds of debris. And this is like, you would think that this is windblown, but from the looks of it, it was washed up here by the storm surge. We are actually pointed south right now. The Atlantic Ocean is to your left on the screen, and boy, the folks who live on that side, you know, that, I don't know, maybe prime property, but they really paid the price for that real estate. But as you can see, these are all newer homes. Those are post-Andrew homes up on the stilts, solid construction. And one thing that strikes me as I drive around today, we are seeing some devastated mobile home parks and boats and trailers tossed every which way. It looks like there's a container here that actually might have been stacked there before the storm. It looks like he used that to hold it down, to weight it against the wind. But what really strikes me, Chris, is when you look at the pictures here in the Upper Keys compared to the devastation down in Cuba and in some of the other Caribbean islands where they don't have building codes. It's a stark difference. Let's take a left here and see what's happening closer to the Atlantic. I'm cutting across. Here's a shot. That's the northbound lane of US 1. You can see why people are driving the wrong way on this highway. Yeah, Rod, you can roll it down. We're just getting a new fresh rain band kicking up here. It's been interesting. Hopefully you will, once it gets past you, Chris, there, you'll be able to get a lull in the storm the way we're now. But yeah, here's a looks like a dock that is washed up onto this street. Coconuts and palm fronds and down trees literally everywhere. And it really comes down to the sturdiness of your construction, depending on what's left. Wow, this one really took a hit over here on the left. Oh, this is Snappers, is it?
This is Snappers.
Oh, okay, this is, yeah, wow, I forgot this is where we were. This is, look at that. I didn't even know where we were turning, but this is where we were doing our Thursday night live shots. If you remember the people partying and making fun of those who evacuated early, this is it. And my goodness, and this is the Jag.
All right, we lost Bill Weir. We'll check back with him, but he is showing a stark difference between the romanticism that he chronicled of the conch lifestyle and that rugged individualism of wanting to wait out the storm regardless of the evacuation calls, and the reality of what Irma did down there. And it's still very early. We know what happened in the Caribbean, but not really. We don't know the full toll of what happened there. In Cuba, we still know very little, and we don't know a lot about what's happened here yet. So far, the news has not been that dire in terms of loss of life. That's good, but again, it's early. And the number one killer in a hurricane is not wind, it's water. and storm surge is just starting to come into effect. That's what we're dealing with here in Naples. The eye has gone by. This is the backside. We're not getting crushed with rain the way we did the first time, and maybe the wind's not as strong, but it's still plenty strong. And instead of rain this time, it's bringing with it water. All that water it sucked out is now going to come back, and there's a multiplier effect. That's the danger of the surge. So let's take a break right now. When we come back, we'll take you to the places that are dealing with the front side of Hurricane Irma and those who are still dealing with the storm surge threat, and that is the deadly concern. We'll be back.
As King Midas, I expect things to last a long time. And so should you.
Midas has a lifetime guarantee on these parts.
That's right. On things like struts, brakes, shocks, all kinds of automobile parts. Guaranteed for life.
Does he turn everything to gold?
Brakes,
Not everything.
struts.
Luckily, he's not a dog person.
At Midas, we're always a touch better with limited lifetime guarantees on select parts, complimentary courtesy checks, and more. Book an appointment at Midas.com.
We needed to hire someone, but it was really tough finding people that had the right experience.
I was spending half my day just reading resumes.
To hire great people, go to ZipRecruiter.com and post to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with one click. Then easily select the best candidates from one list.